Good day, eh? And welcome to the Super Good Camping Podcast Special Edition. I'm Tim.
And I'm Thomas.
And we're doing a trip log for our French River canoe adventure. So, there's really no way to put it better. Today was...
Lots of paddling.
Yeah. Today was pretty crazy. This is our first river trip. We're used to doing... multiple portages and lakes and stuff like that, and while we will paddle 4 or 5 hours out of a given day, and then
they're
portage,
broken up into like hour and a half, 2 hour segments
because we pick the darn thing up and we have to carry it to the next lake. This is a first where we had to do, so we did about 8 hours straight grand total on the river. An hour of it was quest for a geocache and a
shore lunch.
A shore lunch, which is I think it's a first for us.
Yep.
It was very cool. It was nice. We generally don't do it. We PB&J wraps or something like that if we're going to be long on a paddle. I don't think we've ever stopped before, so that was cool. And the geocache was a project with another podcast, Geocache Adventures. Amy suggested we take a shot at it, and we found one, weirdly, that wasn't too far off the path for us for what we had originally planned. So we went and did that. If you're interested, we've got, I'm not sure, publishing dates. I make the assumption that we'll have her on our podcast very soon, if it's not already out, and then we'll be on her podcast telling you all about how that went. It was fun. It was interesting to do, and we learned a few things about low water and islands that aren't islands anymore. So there you go. There's your teaser. Go check out Geocache Adventures in podcasts. They're interesting. She's a very cool host. Outside of that was an hour of the 8 hours, and then 7 hours of paddling into a stinking headwind.
Yeah,
which
was not fun.
Yeah, I don't even know. We did manage to get to where we needed to go, or at least close. I don't think it was, as the adventure continues. So last night we weren't at the site we were supposed to be at. This is not the site we were supposed to be at either, although it was one of the options. So yeah, that's a good start.
Just not the preferred site.
And we didn't get there by the way we had intended to get there. So that's interesting.
Mostly because you had planned like an additional 3 hours of paddling.
But I also hadn't planned to get boned last night,
yeah, that too,
and all of that stuff. So, but we did see. So, we had some issues with map reading and running into not finding a portage where a portage was supposed to be. But we did see some logging
camp ruins.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Kind of cool. It's like, hey, what the heck is that? Oh, I think I saw something about that on Lost Device map. For the records, we're now, I don't know how long ago I bought that map, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. The park has, French River Provincial Park has renumbered their sites. They're the 9 or the 7 or the 6, whatever, designated for the zone is the same. The rest of the numbers are not. So, much as we know where we are, it's not. If you were to tell somebody who's coming to rescue you, that's where we were, or you did your trip log and said we were at blah, 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 you're wrong, because it's different. So, that was interesting to find out that we had no idea where we were.
Luckily, we did get that figured out. We did end up finding the portage just a little while down the river.
Yes, we handed the map off to the kid who apparently has a clue, because Dad doesn't. Nice site we got to.
Yeah.
Weird in that the previous site had the blue blaze that says man, woman, and then had additional blazes with arrows to point you towards the Thunderbox. This one does not.
It's got a Thunderbox. Somebody threw one together, it looks like. The seat's too small, and it's too far back, and the plywood's too thin. But it works. But it's definitely not an official Ontario Parks Thunderbox.
Yeah, because you know that they use they have a whole
blueprint.
Yeah, for it. Because they make the same all over the place. We've settled our butts onto numerous Thunderboxes in numerous parks, and they all work. And this one was a nice thought. But it does what it needs to do, except that Ontario Parks didn't put it there. So I'm curious to know what the deal is. We'll see how the rest of the week plays out, but it doesn't bode well. We had a Thunderbox at last night's site,
which was also in poor repair.
It was in terrible, but at least it was a Thunderbox. So,
yes.
The lid was crap. There was no hinges. There were no hinges. Whatever. But it was built bomb-proof 20 years ago, and it's showing its age. Here, we think we might have found what remained of a
Thunderbox, which is one plank over a maybe 3-inch deep hole.
A small pit, yeah, and that plank is at ground level, so
yeah,
you're not even squatting; you're actually sitting on the ground. Not sorry about the not nice topic, but it's an important thing.
It's what you got to do in the backcountry. You don't really have other options unless you bring a shovel and you want to bury it. In which case, go ahead.
Fine, but then you still have to find a couple of rocks to put a hefty branch across to do the whole thing. It would be better if we had Thunderboxes, which we're supposed to have in, so far as I understand, at least Ontario Provincial Parks. Certainly working ones, like maybe QE2, because it's not a, what's the right term?
In service.
Anyhow, because it's not a active. That's the word. It's not an active park. So I would be taking a shovel to an active park like this. I would assume we're good to go, except that doesn't necessarily appear to be the deal. So we'll see how the rest of the week plays out, but keep you posted. And I think that's probably it. We're pooped. It's been a brutal day. Not brutal, but it's been a lot of slogging. We paddled a bunch and then switched sides and paddled a bunch more. So nappy time for Thomas as usual. Like that. We're looking forward to having a yak with you next week for day 3 of our amazing French River adventure. Talk to you soon.
You can find us on all of our social media. Instagram at supergoodcamping. You can find us on Facebook. We also have a Facebook group called The Campfire, which you can check us out on. Read some other people's stories about camping. Tell us your own. You can visit our website, supergoodcamping.com. And you can also send us an email if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything really. hi@supergoodcamping.com. That's hi@supergoodcamping.com. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye.